Here is the news in special English. I'm Jim Tedder in Washington. Israeli military planes have bombed Beirut and other places in Lebanon for a sixth day. At least 42 people have died in attacks Monday, including at least 8 Lebanese soldiers. A fuel station, factories, and civilian buildings were hit in Beirut. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert says the attacks will continue until Hezbollah releases 2 Israeli soldiers. Mr. Olmert blamed Syria and Iran for the violence in the area. Israeli officials say rockets fired by Hezbollah destroyed a building in the Israeli city of Haifa. 2 people were injured. The foreign minister of Iran has called for a prisoner exchange and a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. Foreign Minister Manouchehr Mottaki spoke to reporters after talks in Damascus with the Vice President of Syria. Syria and Iran are the main supporters of Hezbollah. Syria's ambassador to the United States told VOA that Israel should accept a fair prisoner exchange with Hezbollah. In Beirut, French Prime Minister Dominique de Villepin met with Lebanese government officials. Mr. de Villepin called for an end to the fighting. A United Nations diplomat is also in Lebanon to try to organize a ceasefire. In Russia, British Prime Minister Tony Blair said international forces should be deployed along the border between Israel and Lebanon to stop the attacks. The leaders of the Group of 8 most powerful industrial nations have ended their meeting in Russia. They called on Hezbollah to release Israeli soldiers and end rocket attacks against Israel. The group also called on Israel to end airstrikes in Lebanon. Governments are moving quickly to get their citizens out of Lebanon. United States officials say 64 Americans have left Lebanon. An estimated 25,000 Americans remain in the country. Both military and pleasure ships from the United States, Britain, France, and Italy are being used to transport people out of Lebanon. Russia has sent an airplane to Jordan to assist its citizens and other foreigners. Israeli planes have attacked the Palestinian Foreign Ministry in Gaza City for the second time in less than a week. Many homes near the ministry were damaged. Several people were injured. Israel says people inside the foreign ministry were planning terrorist attacks against Israel. In the West Bank, 1 Israeli soldier was killed when Palestinians exploded a bomb. 1 Palestinian man was arrested. Iraqi hospital officials say gunmen have killed at least 50 people and wounded many others at a market near Baghdad. Officials say a large group of attackers fired shells and guns at the market in Mahmoudiya. Police say they have arrested at least 2 suspects. 2 Shiite lawmakers left a parliamentary meeting Monday to protest the attacks. Also, American military officials say 3 American soldiers died on Monday in bombings or other attacks in the capital. A man has exploded a bomb inside a government building in southern Afghanistan. The attacker killed himself and 3 workers in the building. The attack happened at the Justice Department building in the capital of Helmand Province, Lashkar Gah. 3 Afghan soldiers were also killed in a separate explosion in Helmand. 3 others were wounded. Earlier in Afghanistan, an American military official said a raid killed 4 Al-Qaeda militants. Britain has banned 2 Islamist groups from the country. Home Secretary John Reid says the groups Al-Ghuraba and the Saved Sect support terrorism. The British government says both groups are placing extreme messages on the computer internet. Another British order bans activities by 2 organizations of ethnic Kurds. The American Space Shuttle Discovery has landed safely at Kennedy Space Center in the state of Florida. The astronauts on the space shuttle delivered supplies, equipment, and a new worker to the International Space Station. Astronauts walked 3 times in space to repair the space station. The American Space Agency, NASA, plans to make 16 shuttle trips to the International Space Station. The next flight is planned in late August. The Vice President of Sudan says he believes the government of Uganda and Ugandan rebels will negotiate a peace agreement in less than 2 months. Peace talks began on Friday in Juba, Sudan. The government of Uganda wants to have an agreement before September 12th with the Lord's Resistance Army. Fighting between government forces and the rebels has been continuing for 20 years in Uganda. The government of Niger has told a group of Chinese companies that it may search for uranium in the North Desert of Niger. The government says it will open 2 areas to the China National Uranium Corporation. Niger is a leading producer of uranium, a source of nuclear fuel. Powerful tsunami waves have hit the southwestern coast of the Indonesian island of Java. Reports say at least 80 people were killed. As many as 70 others are reported missing. A powerful earthquake in the Indian Ocean caused the tsunami. The waves destroyed houses and businesses. Emergency workers are searching the debris for survivors. And now, briefly, here again is the major news of the hour, read in Special English. Israeli military planes have bombed Beirut and other places in Lebanon for a 6th day. The foreign minister of Iran is calling for a prisoner exchange and a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. And the United States says American Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is planning a visit to the Middle East to try to stop the violence. And that's the news in VOA Special English. Jim Tedder reporting.